Hi, Bryce. I'm so excited that you're here today.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, I wanted to start by asking you when I did my research for you, I noticed that you use a stage name. Does anyone actually, besides your friends and your boyfriend and your family, obviously know
Yeah.
your real name?
I mean, Bryce is my real name, so that part is. And I just took the Adams part is actually my boyfriend's middle name, so I kind of put them together. I thought it was a cute thing to do 3 years ago. So that's the story of that.
Got it. Okay. So, but like, do people call you Bryce or they call you by your first name?
Yeah, they just call me Bryce.
Okay. And has that been since you grew up or since you started this persona on OnlyFans?
Mostly, I don't know, kind of like a combo. I guess it depends on who you talk to, kind of thing. But I mean, I at this point, I just respond. I like my name. It's fun. It's different. It's definitely unique. My parents definitely picked out some unique, unique names there. So, but
Yeah. I love that name. My daughter's name is Wyatt, which is a boy's
oh,
name.
fun.
Bryce
Yeah,
is like a manly name.
yeah.
So I'm into that. I think it's awesome. Okay, so the other thing that I noticed when doing research about you, and I'm just going to start here because if anyone looks you up that hasn't heard of you yet,
Yeah.
they are the first thing they will notice is you have one of the best bodies I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you.
So obviously, I mean, I guess it's not obvious because to be an OnlyFans, I don't necessarily know that it matters what your body looks like, and we'll get into that because
Yeah,
that is one of my questions. But
sure.
you have created a whole platform on being fit as well.
Yeah.
So I think the first thing that people will really want me to ask is about your diet and about your workout routine. So
Okay.
wait, my first question though with that is what do you think is more important? What you eat and put in your body or the workouts that that you put your body through?
I guess it depends on the person's personal goals, like what their actual like. I
Well,
ultimately you should do what.
if they wanna look like you, let's just
Ah,
start there.
I want them to look how they wanna look, you know what I mean? Do what is gonna best suit you.
Mhm.
Honestly, for me, a lot of it came in from diet. I actually eat whatever I want. I just have, like, a calorie limit and a protein minimum, so I just hit, like, at least 140 grams of protein a day. I'm lucky in that I burn a lot of calories, so I can eat a lot, like 2,400 on a daily basis without much issue. But I really saw a big change in like my body composition when I changed and focused on eating a lot more protein. So that made a huge difference for me. So I would lean more towards diet, and I feel like 80% of like the community and the population would probably see a lot of body composition changes just by changing their diet.
Right. Okay, that's interesting. And then in terms of your workout, genetically, do you already have a
Yeah.
toned and fit and thin body?
Um, I've always kind of been on the skinny side, but what actually kind of started our fitness journey was I've been with my boyfriend for 14 years, and we focused so much on our first business that he had always kind of been overweight as a kid, so his weight kind of went up and down, and he got to the point where he was like, "Let's focus on like making our, what's life if you're not healthy and like capable." So he started his fitness journey of trying to get leaner and getting more muscle. And I was like, "Oh, I'll do it too," because I was kind of getting like skinny fat, if you will. Like I didn't have muscle mass at all, so. Genetically, I think I do pretty good as far as my upper body responds really well, but I had no butt whatsoever. I built that from years and years of effort. So it's probably a little bit of both, but I would say a lot of it's just dedication and just not stopping.
And for people, you do a lot of focusing on your butt, let's be honest, in a lot of your posts. So what would you say contributed to you, getting a rear end, so to speak, at this point? Like, would it be a lot of weights? Is it
Yeah.
cardio? Like, what was it for you?
I mean, obviously, people have preferences of how they like to work out. I would say I advocate for anybody who wants to start working out, find something that you can kind of keep doing, even if you're having a hard day or have a gym buddy. Just start it and don't stop. But for me, it was weightlifting. So having loaded movements, engaging my glutes, focusing on my lower body, my legs, and my butt, and just like consistently strategically planning and tracking like my workouts and leveling up the difficulty, because if
Right.
you kind of just do the same way every single time, your body kind of minimally adapts. But if you want gains in the gym, you want a bigger butt, you gotta push harder. So there was a lot of mental blocks too I had to overcome, but I was glad I did.
And how long did it take you to see results like that?
It took me years, honestly. I've been like pushing pretty hard now for the last 3-ish, 4-ish years, but like I started working out 7, 8 years ago at this point, and I saw big jumps. Whenever I would mentally be like, come on, I can do more. You know that time in the gym where you're like, I can stop here. But then if you actually mentally push yourself, you're like, wow, I did like 8 more reps, like, huge gain differences. So
Wow.
it's cool. I'm happy with it.
Okay, so before we get into like what it is that you do now, I just want to hear a little bit about you like in high school.
Yeah.
Like what were your goals? What did you think you were going to become? What did you want to do?
Yeah, cool question. So I've always liked architecture a lot, mainly houses. I've always drawn floor plans and I just love home design, like just the layouts and stuff like that. So I always thought I was going to be an architect. I actually like applied to a bunch of colleges and got in for architecture. Fun fact, I went to college in Boston for 6 weeks and dropped out, but we had already started, my boyfriend and I had started a sporting goods company actually just out of high school. He's a year ahead of me. So I was finishing my senior year. He didn't want a real job and we were buying sporting goods and I was flipping them on eBay. So it was kind of like the option of hang out with him and build this business that we have traction or kind of go to school. But when I went to school, they were like, oh no, you have to, design apartment buildings and skyscrapers and like hospitals. And I was like, I'm really not interested in any of that. I just want to draw houses. And they're like, we don't really have that plan. So I was like, I'd rather go do this other stuff. So I don't know. I always worked a lot. I did like nannying and babysitting a ton. I had like my own little business of that. So I guess we've always kind of been very business centered. And I got lucky that I met my boyfriend so early on in my life because now we've had years to like integrate and work together and build our skills together. So we're a really good team now.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about that for a second, because I think that that's something that stands out about you that makes you different than some of these content creators. You've had a boyfriend for over a decade. Um,
Yeah.
so first of all, what do we call him? Does he have a stage
Brian.
name too?
No,
Brian.
Brian's the name.
Brian's the name. Okay. So all right, Brian. You met him in high school, you said, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And did you have boyfriends before him, or was this like literally your first love?
I'm pretty sure I had 4 before that, yeah, so I like having a person, so, I actually had a boyfriend when I met him. We were friends for, like, 6 months first, and then I realized I was like, "Oh, okay," like, the other guy was nice, but just definitely not it, and Brian was funny and interesting and athletic and, like, it was you could tell very different and going places, and I was like, "This is cool, and we can hang out endlessly, and we get a lot done," so it was fun.